If there ever was a perfect weather at all to inspire outdoor projects, it's this right now. And it's time to walk around your house, get a little visual on what needs to be done. Guess who's here? Dave Cook from Feldco with a checklist and some advice from a famous face. Dave, it's great to have you on the show.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thank you.
How's life? Do you do your own projects outside?
I do. People say I'm handy, but I'm not sure that I might like that characterization.
Well, you got all kinds of ideas about how we can assess our property because things fall apart during the winter, don't they?
They do. They kind of degrade, especially in the Midwest, where we've got sort of precious short periods of time in the summer that we can enjoy it. The winters are tough.
The winters are tough, and the window is short in order to fix it.
It is.
And we're there right now. So you have some advice for us today. Your first one was about the roof.
Well, roofs are, particularly vulnerable in the harsh conditions we have here in the Midwest. But I always like to do a visual inspection by starting at the top down. That's kind of, I think, a good place to begin. Looking for missing shingles. That's the best way to kind of see where things have sort of happened over the winter time. If you've seen some come down, it's a really important thing to replace them so it doesn't affect the performance of the overall roof itself.
Right.
If there's more than a few, then it's probably a really good idea to replace the entire roof.
And what else can go wrong with a roof? So the loose shingles, what else are we looking for up top?
Algae is one of those things that people don't particularly think is terribly important, but it means that there's moisture building up in places that it really shouldn't. And moisture is kind of an enemy to most things, but roofs particularly. So if you see, it can be cleaned, algae can be cleaned off, but if it keeps reoccurring, it means that water's not making its way off and away from the house. So,
and a roof could be in your future.
It could be.
Yeah. It's a big investment, but one of the most important you can do. I mean, you go to resell your house, they want to know about the age of the roof.
That's right. It's one of the first questions you're asked.
So as we move on down, what would be next? The gutters?
Gutters is your kind of top down, as we say. The gutters build up a lot of debris over winter. A lot of people think gutters in the fall, clean them. Of course, that's important. But debris builds up, over both the winter and spring particularly, and it's important to get it clean. So making sure that water flows away again from the house. So
do you guys do gutters too?
We do.
You got gutters, yeah. Windows. Oh, think what the windows go through around here, right? Around your siding and everywhere.
In this climate, it's particular. There's a lot of temperature change, so there's expansion, contraction, things that are kind of difficult on products, home solutions, if you will, and windows are probably the biggest of all, and energy efficiency is really important.
Sure. So you can clean them, but you need to inspect for what should we look for to know if your window should be replaced. Some obvious breakage, but what else?
Well, there's the sealing of the window itself, so caulk, trim work around the windows, whether that's rotten, the seal of the glass itself. So if there's fog in between panes of glass, that's sort of an indicator that they're kind of reaching the end of their lifespan.
Can that be fixed once you get that fogginess? You just need a new window.
Well, there are some things to repair it, but it's more of a temporary fix. So there's some cost associated with that, and you're kind of going to be looking at a new window at some point anyway.
Got it. Well, guess what? You got a big sale going on.
We do. It's our biggest sale of the year.
Well, and this is the time we really need it. This is when people are going to be going for it. Yeah.
We do. I mean, it's windows and roofs and all home improvements can be expensive, but the biggest sale of the year is free installation on all of our products, and that's windows, siding, doors, and our roofing. We also have no interest for 1 year.
No interest?
No interest on financing a whole year.
Cool. You mentioned doors. I don't think we talked about doors. There are a lot of different ways to go with doors, aren't there?
There are. There's so many different styles and glass options, trim options, real colors, everything. Doors have sort of a infinite number of options that you can get.
I would say, yeah. So like right now, people are thinking, here we are in mid-May. They're thinking, I really want to get that done this summer. How far out are you as far as installation goes? I mean, is it pretty good time to book?
It's important to get ahead of it. Like most other businesses, we do have some supply chain issues, but we've been very fortunate, given our volume, that we are able to keep up with those demands and pretty well. We're typically about 8 to 12 weeks out, and that tends to stretch the busier we get. So
well, yeah, and you know, we can go into the fall around here. We have some nice falls, and so you know, there's that season that can extend, you know, this home improvement time.
And
yeah.
we install throughout the year, so it's
Sure. Yeah. For Feldco.com is where you can go. There's a phone number that you need. There's that info that Dave just mentioned, the free installation on the windows and no interest for a year. Anything else you want to mention about that, Dave? Does that cover it?
It's pretty well it. Our website and 866-4Feldco.
Yeah. Let's all go out and look around and at least see, you know, it might hurt to see what needs to be done, but it's an important thing to do for sure. Yeah.
It is.
Good seeing you, Dave.
Great to see you too,
Yeah.
Paula. Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by.